And I also forgot about the recording. Thank you, Professor Deshmukh. Yes, so we have 69 regional centers and 2,100 learner support centers. And then we have also very strong international presence. That is 25 overseas study centers, which are spread across 15 nations. And we are running a program in African countries, Gold Goana, E-Vidya Bharati, and so many other things. So, through this pan India network of regional centers, and we have adopted this National Education Policy Initiative of Government of India recommendations in 2022. And let me tell you, the program in which you have taken admission, whether it is PGCGI or PGDGI or MSc Geoinformatics, it has built in a modular way, 6 months and 1 year and then 2 years. And it has all the components of NEP as far as it is skill enhancement program, and then you will get a chance to have experiential learning and modular approach, and it is multidisciplinary. So we have a strong component of NEP in your program. And IGNOU now offers 35 programs with multiple entry and exit. And then what else? Yeah, we have 21 schools of studies, and you have taken admission in the program that is a program of School of Sciences. So apart from that, we have four channels also: Swayam Prabha channel and then Swayam channel, and we have a number of online courses also. And then we will reach to you apart from this online counseling. We will reach to you through our interactive radio counseling session, and then teleconferencing sessions, and then we have Vyas channel also. So this is what was about IGNOU. And regarding the program, this is the first semester, which is common to all diploma and master students. And with this brief introduction of IGNOU, I would now like to hand over the floor to Professor Benidhar Deshmukh. He is the program coordinator along with me. As Deshmukh ji, he will introduce you to the first semester courses and about the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your introduction to the school, to the programs of the school, and about this program. So, participants, let us get introduced to our other faculty members, program team members. So, I request Professor Bhaskar to be to come online, please. Dr. Kakali Gogoi.
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah, I welcome all the participants. I think sir is there, sir. You can start, please. Bhaskar,
No,
sir.
I think Dr. Kakali, you can do, then I will welcome.
Yeah,
No problem.
I welcome all the participants to this program, to the certificate, diploma, and MSc program in Geoinformatics. I want to just add one thing, like many of them, they are telling that they will not be able to attend all the classes, and they will see the recording and they will do, and they will again give the PDF to us or whatsoever. But you see, we will be involved in all the counseling sessions for 4 hours, and we do the practicals along, means you will be doing the practicals along with us, and that will be good because we will take some issues like from the previous class. If you have missed something, we will take in the next class, and and in the next class or during all the sessions. If you give afterwards, there will be little bit of difficulty. Like for us, we are involved in many other assignments for evaluation, for examination related, and also many official uh, works are there with us. Then you might not get the timely review or timely suggestions from us. So it is better that you attend all the sessions, especially the practical sessions, as Minal Madam and Desmukh sir have already suggested. So that's it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bhaskar sir, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? We would like to hear from you, sir. Bhaskar sir is one of the senior most faculty members in our school, and he is a internationally very renowned researcher in various fields, particularly in the cave geology, cave microbiology. So, sir, please welcome, and we would like to
Yeah.
hear some words from you.
Sir,
Please.
my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah,
Okay.
certainly.
Namaskar, Director Madam and Program Coordinators, Deshmukh ji and Meenal Mishra ji. Welcome, learners. I'm relatively new to the ODL system, though I have been involved in some units, some courses in this program. I would try to share whatever I know, whatever is assigned to me, to the best of my ability. But let me tell you, our team is a very dedicated team. They are 24/7 working, and you must have seen Deshmukh ji's response, which probably very few program coordinators do on a one-to-one basis with the students. I'm sure all of you will enjoy this journey, and you will be enriched. Whatever help I can do, you can always contact. Whatever way I can help in this program, I will continue. Thank you, sir. I have nothing more at this moment to offer to the learners.
Deshmukh ji, you are muted. Professor
Yeah.
Deshmukh, you are
Yeah.
muted.
Ji, ma'am. I would request now Dr. M. Prashant and Dr. Omkar Verma to please come and say a few words about this program. And in the meantime, I would request all our participants to please switch on their camera for a while so that we can take a snapshot of this, and that maybe we can it can be useful in future also. So please switch on. Whoever is comfortable, please switch on their cameras.
Yes, please. Let us see you. You are students of distance education. The motivation is Mool Mantra. Okay. And one thing I just want to tell you, like just a small story with Deshmukh ji's permission. Like you are like Eklavya. You must have heard the story of Dronacharya Arjun and how Dronacharya used to teach Arjun archery used to teach. So he was a student of conventional system, Arjun, and Eklavya was the student of distance education. He used to stand far off from the place and he used to learn how Dronacharya was teaching Arjun. So you are like Eklavya, you are in distance education. Remember that you remain connected with your peer and your faculty to remain motivated. Understand? So,
Yeah, madam has really pointed out a good point here because in distance education it is the motivation that is very important. So there are people who join with some interest in this program, but what happens is due to certain factors, maybe their personal reasons or something that they are not able to complete. So the passing percentage in any of the distance program anywhere in the world, it is much less as compared to the this conventional system. So we all suggest you that you keep your motivations on, and that is why we have opened up this WhatsApp group. So I have given the link for all of you in that email. Please join the WhatsApp group with that link. And in case there is an issue, please let us know. And that platform is not to share the good morning, good evening, good night message, but to share the information that we may have, all of us may have different information about this. And of course, the program team would like to share the information about this program, whatever they have access to. So this is for that. So this is going to be an informal, but a group that would be useful for all of you. Somebody has switch on their mic. Please mute that. In unless you have any questions, you please mute your mic. So there are now good number of participants here. So it's good to see all of you here. Of course, we were expecting some more participants, almost 400 plus we were expecting, but still probably some people have got the information a little later, or maybe they have not seen their email. So please tell your friends, whoever are there, who know that who have taken admission in this program. You please pass on the information that they should be joining this online sessions. And of course, as mentioned, it is not easy to plan a session that is convenient to all. So that is why the sessions which are prepared as per the schedule, which is convenient to most of the say counselors and the participants. So you please make up your time, make it convenient that you are able to attend those sessions. It is going to be interesting, and you know that this is a program which involves a lot of computer work. So you have to be say prepared for spending time to study the materials, as well as spend time working with different kinds of software that will be utilized during your practical counseling sessions. And as mentioned, this is not a classroom session. This is a session. It is known as a counseling session. So it is not going to be one-to-one classroom kind of a teaching session, but the idea is that of course we cannot expect for today's session because it was informed little later, but whenever there is a session which is planned, so you need to study the relevant theoretical aspects of that, and whatever questions that you might have, you need to you can ask your questions to the counselors, whoever is taking that particular session. So the style of the counselors may be different. Some may like to take up as a classroom kind of thing, but mostly it is going to be a session wherein the important concepts will be told to you if you have not read the concerned study materials. And please make sure that you work hard with your practical sessions. uh, for PGCGI students, the materials are available to them. They must have got the hard copy of the materials. For others, PGDGI, and for our MSc learners, I'll be sharing a link just after this session, so that you can access the exercises and you can start working with those. So Divyanshu has a question. Maybe we can take one or two questions, uh, then we can start the theory part. Please, Divyanshu.
Yes, sir, I have not received my hard copy of the content material.
Which program you were taken admission in?
This thing Geoinformatics.
No, there are three programs: PG certificate, PG diploma, and MSc. So which program you are
MSc Geoinformatics.
Okay, so see, I have sent a mail to all of you. In that, I have mentioned the link from where you can see the status of dispatch of the materials. And please mind it.
I am checking it from last few days, but
okay,
there is no progress in that actually.
Okay. See, one more thing I would like to clarify here. Since the students, the learners, all of you see us only as the face of the IGNOU, so you contact us. It is obvious. But see, as a program coordinator, we are generally or mainly say responsible, or rather say, I should say, we look into the academic matters of this. So suppose you have a difficulty in certain concepts, so we can try to help you out. If not we, maybe some counselors can help you out. But whatever administrative things are there, those are the different divisions that look into it. Like say material, it is a MPDD, material production and distribution division, that looks into it. So if you send a mail, maybe we can try to coordinate with them. But see, I have been receiving many mails from different people, different participants, different learners. I have tried my best to reply to most of them, but still there are some mails which I was not able to reply. So I thought I can take up those queries here in this session sometime whenever the time allows, not in the theory session, but in the practical session later in this today's afternoon. So in the meantime, we can take up those questions. So now I suggest that you check the mail properly. I have given some 8-10 links, maybe for assignments, for practical, for old question paper, etc., etc. So you can look into it, and then still, if you have any query, we can try to take up those queries wherever we can coordinate or we are able to address to your queries. We will try to certainly address that. If you're not able to, then you can write a mail to the concerned and make a mark a copy to us. We will try to coordinate with the concerned divisions. Yeah, we can take one more questions, and then we can proceed with our theory sessions. Any questions? I understand this is the first session. You all of you maybe have some certain questions. So those questions we will take up during the practical session, so that our other program team members, at least they can do something else in this.
And the practical session is at 1:15 p.m., right?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Practical session is at 1:15 p.m., right?
Yeah, this will be a continuous session after the theory session, but there's a 15 minutes break. So the session will be live, and then you can continue with that practical. Today
It will
only.
be online only, or we have to go to regional center for that?
See, you must have seen the schedule, and then for the concerned block, concerned practical exercise that are to be taken up during the sessions that are mentioned. So since it is a time is less, and uh, the study center has decided to go ahead with the online counseling session for this time. Okay.
Online. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And I think that will be beneficial for you, because there are people from different parts of the country, and all of them, it might not be easy for everybody to come into one place and do their practical. So it is better that it is beneficial for you that if you attend it online, because the study
Yes,
center is offering that. Okay,
Thank you.
so
Thank you very much.
yeah, we'll take one more question from Mr. Abu, and then we can close this introduction session, and then we can go ahead with our theory. Yeah, please, Mr. Abu.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks a lot, Benidhar sir, for being very forthcoming in replying to all the questions. It's really appreciated, and thanks a lot once again. Expecting the same in the rest of the course duration. So there are a few suggestions, sir. Like first of all, if you can get away with the Friday sessions, since most of us, I won't say on behalf of all, but I think most of us will have time on the weekends only. So first thing, if you can do the sessions only on Friday, Saturdays and Sundays. And secondly, if there is some gap, since few of the sessions we have seen that it is just back to back, there is not even a gap of 15 minutes. So if the session can be made after a gap of maybe 15 or 20 minutes, so that if a person is doing the whole day activity, he need to do something else as well during the day. So if some gap is kept there, that will be better. And third thing is, sir, about the material. This question was already raised. Material I have not received. I don't know about others, but I haven't received. But thanks you again. I downloaded the SLMs. I have got 3-4 papers already available to me. I'm reading online. But yes, printed material I haven't got. I don't have any idea of uh, the tutor mark assignments. TMAs I haven't received anything. So that also I'm not clear what to do about it, since it is only 2 months wherein we need to prepare TMAs as well, practical as well, and the term in examination as well. So we don't have any idea how to manage all those things in the span of 2 months only. Practically 1 month. In December it will be exams.
Okay, I'll try to
Yeah,
add
sir.
queries. See, first thing is that study material, as I mentioned, it is done by some other division. So as soon as the admission is confirmed, I think within 3 weeks they try to dispatch the materials. So those of you who are in or near Delhi, if you think you can come to the headquarters, you can see. But before coming here, you can check whether the material has been dispatched. It has been dispatched. They might not give you by hand. So, but those who are out of Delhi, away from Delhi, please check the status of the dispatch of the materials, and then you might receive it. But in the meantime, till you receive the hard copy, you can study from the soft copy which is available and the link to that I have shared in the mail yesterday. And the third thing is regarding the schedule. Yeah, of course, I mentioned here that the admission ran into even the month of October. So that is why the study center was not able to plan this counseling session because they did not have the final data, admission database. So once they got the database last week only, this week, I think this week only. So then they planned. And since the time is limited because you have a exam in December, so that is why the this session has been planned accordingly, keeping in the mind mostly on the weekends, and of course because the number of sessions were more, so those have been kept on some weekdays. And this session, because this will be in parallel with the second semester of the PG diploma program, so there are some days which have been kept uh, for PG diploma also. So that is why it has been planned. So please make sure that you attend all those sessions. And regarding the assignment, uh, in the mail also I have given the link for assignments, and you can check the assignment, go to the student zone, then in the assignments are available, you can prepare the assignment. And instructions on how to submit, how to prepare the assignment is all given in the assignment booklet. So if you still have any query, please get back to us later on, or you can ask during the practical sessions that we'll have in the afternoon today. Yeah, somebody is raising her hand. Diksha Rana may ask. Then we'll close this session. Then we'll start with our theory counseling session. Please, just one last question.
A very good afternoon, sir,
Good afternoon.
and very good afternoon to all the faculty members that are present here. So I just want to ask about the attendance. Do we need to drop it here only?
Sorry, do you need to?
So do we need to drop it here only in the text, or it will be taken after the class? What will be the
Yeah,
procedure for
questions that we
attendance?
can
Because
take because now time, because already we are late, almost an hour. So into
sir,
this
and
session.
another thing I want to ask about examination forms. We are unable to fill the forms. They are telling like no such program is enrolled or like that. So how we can proceed with examination form,
Yeah,
because we may.
yeah, I got your point. I just mentioned that the 4 people who have taken admission in the MSc program, their first
Yes,
examination
sir.
will be held in the month of June next year. So you
Okay.
don't need to worry about it. And that reason behind that is why the university has decided is because the admission has gone on to the October, and it will be really
Yes,
difficult to expect that in 2 months' time you prepare that. So that is why
yes,
university for all the most of the programs, master's degree programs, they are taking
yes, sir.
exam after a year so that you have
Yes.
enough time to complete the formalities and prepare the courses that you want to appear in. So your first exam will
And
be
sir,
in the June term and examination next year,
okay.
and you can
So
then
what is the
choose the
deadline
courses
to
that you
submit
want to appear,
assignment?
and whatever, then after that every 6 months you can appear into that. Sorry.
Yes. So what are the deadlines to submit these assignments?
Assignments, since your exam is in next June, so for the June
Yes.
examination the assignment you can be submitted by March, like next year March you can submit. But make
Okay.
sure that you submit the assignment which is valid on the day you are submitting that. So the assignment, if you are preparing now, it has to be submitted
Yes.
now this year because it is not valid for next year. If you are submitting next year,
Okay,
then
sir.
you have to submit the assignment which is valid for next year. Okay. So now
Okay.
with
Okay.
this
Thank
we
you.
can take further queries in the next practical session. So I thank all our team members, program team members, Professor Minan Mishra ma'am, Professor Bhaskar, Dr. Kakali Gogoi, and others for sparing valuable time. And just for the participant that you all will be interacting with many of our faculty members. And also here there is one more counselor, Mr. Rohitash. Susan, are you also here? They will be taking many of the practical sessions who will be and you will be in touch with them through the WhatsApp group and also through these sessions. So they are our PhD research scholars and they have been taking up the sessions. They have been approved counselors for this program and they have been nicely taking up the sessions for last many cycles. So thank you all of you. You please remain in this meeting. We can start later on then on the theory. So thank you, Midal ma'am. Thank you, Kakundi ma'am, Bhaskar sir, and everybody for their presence here, blessing this occasion. And then in case something else is there, we will again request. Maybe if needed, we can take up another brief session of half an hour, maybe for MSc people, MSc students, if needed, maybe sometime next week or some other time.
Yeah.
If it is all required. So thank you, all of you. So now can we start with this theory session?
Everyone, group photo.
Yes, Professor Deshmukh, thank you so much. And I wish all the best to all the learners. Thank you so much. So am I permitted to leave now?
Please, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Everyone, group photos.
Yeah, I have clicked some photographs on the screen. Screen capture I have taken. In case if you have taken any photograph you may like to share in the WhatsApp group, you can share. Okay, so shall we proceed now with this program? So there are 3 programs we are catering to. Now, if you want, you can switch off your camera because that will again take up some bandwidth. So it is up to you, depending upon your Wi-Fi connection or the internet connection that you can decide. Okay. See, there are 3 programs here. PG certificate in geoinformatics. This program has been running since 2014, and this program, when it was designed, it has a 16 credit worth courses. So there are 3 theory courses and 1 practical course. All the courses are of 4 credits. In the case of PG diploma and MSc Geoinformatics, all the first semester courses equal to 20 credits. So so total 40 credits for PG diploma and total of 80 credits for MSc Geoinformatics program. Now there are similarities, but it is not the same. The courses which were there for the PG CGI program, MZY 001, Introduction to Geoinformatics, Overview of Geoinformatics, that is there, a 4 credit. Second course is about Introduction to Remote Sensing and
Sir, please share your screen, sir. It's not
yeah,
visible.
I have not shared. I'm not
Okay.
showing
Okay.
any
Okay.
PPT.
It's
I'm
okay,
just
sir.
picking because the time is less, so I don't want to show those PPTs. I directly come to the PDF file of that block 1. So after I finish up this brief overview of these programs, and then I'll come to that. Thank you, Dr. Kakali, for pointing it out. So this PG diploma and the MSc Geoinformatics program, the first semester of these 2 programs are of 20 credits each, and the courses, since it is of 20 credits, it is bit different, slightly different than the courses in the PG CGI program. But this schedule has been prepared combining the PGCGI programs, courses, and also the PG diploma and MSc program. So wherever there is a deviation in the course content or the name of the blocks or the practical exercise, it has been mentioned in the schedule. You can check it, the course code that is applicable to you. So the course code that is applicable to PGCGI program are the MGY 001, MGY 002, MGY 003, and MGYL 004. So here L is the laboratory course here. And in the case of PG diploma and the masters, it is the MZY 101 because 1 comes, M stands for a masters, and GY is the code given by the university to us. It is the code for the geology discipline. And 001 is the course that is the first time it is developed. So that was the course. Now for diploma and masters, it is the 101. So it meaning that it is the revised courses. So it is a 101 series. Second course is MGY 102, and the third course is MGY 103, and the fourth practical course, which is of 6 credit, is MGYL 104. Other courses which have been introduced for the first time will have the same 00 or 0 series code number. Anyway, we'll again take it up later on. So this is in brief about the courses and the programs. So there are 23 exercises in the PG Agile program laboratory course MGYL001, and almost the same number of exercises in the PG diploma and MSc course. I will share the link shortly when we start the practical course, so that you can access those laboratory exercises. Those have not been uploaded in the eGyanKosh portal, but that will be uploaded soon. But till the time, you can access it from the Google Drive link that I'll be sharing. So again, I will discuss more about the practical part when I take up the practical session. But here I would focus more on the theory part. So that all the theory courses, you know, that they have earlier when it was designed and prepared, printed for the first time, initial few years, it had 4 different blocks. So each block is roughly 1 credit in the case of PG certificate program. The 2 courses of the PG diploma and masters are of 6 credits, so there will be some different weightage for that. But generally, roughly 1 credit, that means 1 block has a 1 credit worth load. So each of the courses, theory courses, they have 4 blocks, and later on, university decided that instead of giving 4 different booklets, 4 different blocks prints to the students, let us give only 1 or 2 volume. So the first 2 blocks have been are now packaged into volume 1, and the third and the fourth block of each of the theory courses are packaged into second volume 2. So that is how it has been now there. So most of you have received the materials. I have received information from many people that they have received the materials, but some of them may not have received. And also, it is not that everybody will receive the hard copy. Those who have opted for the hard copy of the materials, only those will be receiving the hard copy. Okay. Secondly, the practical courses will be available only in the soft copy format for the PG diploma and for the MSc program. For PG certificate program, it is available in the hard copy. And this to make this PG CGI program, which is of 16 credit, to make it modular with the PG diploma and PG MSc program, so that you all can take lateral entry into different programs. It will be easier for you. So to make it modular, we have requested the university to adopt the courses, the first semester of PG diploma and masters into the PG CGI program. So maybe from January next year onwards, this will also become PG CGI program will also become of 20 credits. So it will be same as the PG diploma and master's program. So that those who have completed PG certificate program, if they want to take admission into the PG diploma second semester, they can easily take the lateral entry. And those those who have done the PG diploma can complete the MSc program. So this is in short about it. We will have, I know that this is the first question. There may be a lot of questions first session and a lot of questions in your mind. So we will try to address all your queries to your satisfaction in the session that we have, a longer session, which is a 4 hours duration, the practical session. So now I access the eGyanKosh portal, wherein all the soft copy materials are available, and from there only I'll be showing. I'm not showing any PPT. I am showing only the PDF, that what are the units are there and what are the concepts which are given in that. And then in case you have any questions, we will take up those questions. But we'll try that we will cover this thing in 1 hour, about 1 hour, so that after that we can start the practical session after a few minutes of break. Okay, so all of you agree with that? So now let us go ahead with this. Let me just share my screen. Just a minute. Okay, so can you see all my screen? I have opened this PDF file, which is available in the eGyan You have to go to the link that I have shared in the email, and egyancoach.ac.in. In that, you have to go to the School of Sciences. First, you have to go to the self-learning materials. Choose that. You can go to the School of Sciences. Then from there, you go to the levels, and then from there is option to choose PhD certificate or PG diploma or master's program. Choose the options whichever is relevant to you, and then you can choose there will be option for current or archived. Go for the current, and then you can choose the program, and then you can select the courses, and you can see those courses. You can download. It is not going to ask you for any login. Okay, so this is that. So once I have downloaded the first volume of the first course, that is MCY 101. I am showing you 101. There are courses. The course for PGCI is different, MCY 001, but the contents are mostly same. In case anybody has access to that, and if you have any questions on other units, please let me know. So can you, all of you can see this screen? I opened this in the browser itself. I have opened. Okay, so this shows a image here, and once I come to this, it is showing the volume 1. So this is the course title is given on the top, and the title of the volume is given in this here, just beside the volume 1. So there are two blocks in this. As mentioned, each block contains two different blocks. Here, the first block is related to introduction to geoinformatics, and the second block is about the concepts of geospatial data. So those two blocks are different, but here I'll be mentioning about the first block, that is introduction to geoinformatics. Okay. So now when I further browse the pages, please mute the mic. Whoever, I think there are some mics which are open, so there may be disturbance. Okay, so this is the content of this volume. There are two blocks, identification. Then comes this is called credit page. So whoever all have contributed in the development of this particular material, their names are given. So there are people who have helped us in designing. So they are part of the program design committee. There are several people from different organizations from India, government and private organizations, and also from institutions and companies also. So you see, there are a lot of brains who have been involved in this program design, from DST to Indian Space Research Organization, to the Defense Research Development Organization, to even IITs and Center for Development of Advanced Computing, and even from private, there are people who are independent GIS consultants, and also some private companies like which are global companies rather, ESRI. So those people have been helpful to give their guidance in respect of designing uh, this program. Okay, so then there is a course design committee who were particularly they have helped us in designing the course contents of this program. So they are all here, and then okay, and then this is particularly the volume 1 who have all contributed for developments of this. So who has written which unit particularly, their name is mentioned here. So there are people from different organizations who have been helpful to write those units, and there are people from different organizations, institutions who have uh, edited the contents. So this first course is the coordinator are Kakali Gogoi and Professor R. Bhaskar. You have just met them online. So they are the coordinators of this first course. Then comes this page, which is introduction. So those of you who have read the materials, it is good. But those of you who have not read the materials, I thought it would be good, instead of showing the PPT, if I show you this material, so that you can get familiar with whatever content is given in this. So that is why I thought that I should go with this approach. Maybe others may also go with this, or maybe others, some may show you PPTs. So the volume 1, so this gives you an introduction and background of about the content of this coverage of this volume. So this is what the background is given, and what all is content in that. This shows that this is a volume 1. It gives you an idea about this, and this volume 2 is gives an idea about that. And then these two blocks, what are the contents, and after reading this volume, what is expected learning outcome, it is all given here. So once you read this volume 1, you should be able to define the geoinformatics, explain its various components, discuss the evolution of geoinformatics as a discipline, should be able to describe the recent developments which have taken place in the field of geoinformatics in various aspects, remote sensing, GIS, GNSS, etc. And then coming to the second block that deals with the basic concepts of geospatial data. It is the concepts are covered in that, and also sources of various kinds of raster and vector data and the different kinds of data products are covered in that particular block, and also an overview of various types of commercial off the shelf and free and open source software which are there in this field. They are given mentioned in this. So, and then there is a brief overview of whatever programming languages are there. So that overview of those have been given in that. So now in between I am getting some messages for entry into this group, this meeting. So I'm just admitting them anyway. So in case if you have any query about this, you can write to the about the academic contents. You can write to the concerned coordinators, and you can get the queries answered. Okay. So this is the MGY 101. So this shaded area, these are the contents of the volume 1. And here the topic today for us to discuss is the block 1, overview of geoinformatics. It has 3 units: geoinformatics and introduction, multidisciplinary nature of geoinformatics, and recent trends. The contents for the PG certificate program may be slightly different. The name of the unit may be different. So please go study those materials, and in case if you have any query, you can get back to me today in second half. Second block has the see, there are 6 units in that, and it is about the geospatial data, raster data, vector data sources, overview of these two software. So these two have been discussed in much detail. Now see, don't worry about the number of pages that have been covered. There are more than 30-35 pages. Figures are given in those units, so that actually has enhanced the rather number of pages. But you see, the content is not that much, and it should be, once you are in this field, you should be familiar with all the kinds of data, so that you can make best use of the freely available data, and also should be aware of the data which is available, which you can purchase from different platforms. That is why we have tried to give you a good overview of the data sources and also about the software. So these two blocks are the content of the volume 2. Now coming to the block 1. So there are 3 units as I mentioned. So in the first you have seen the volume introduction. Now this is the block introduction that we'll be seeing. So what is the specific content of this block is all mentioned here. So we can read that along with that, and then as per the expected learning outcome for the volume 1, this is the expected learning volume, learning outcomes for this block 1. So these are the expectations that you should be able to fulfill. And so now starting with the first unit, again, just a minute. I have got some other request for admission. Okay, so this is the structure of the unit, and you can see in the first page whatever content is covered in that unit particularly. is all mentioned here in brief here in the table in this form. So it will start with introduction. So all the units will start with introduction and the expected learning outcome for that particular unit or that particular exercise. Then the contents, like it is mentioned first, what is geoinformatics? So geoinformatics definition and relevant terms are mentioned here, discussed here. Then the components of geoinformatics are discussed. Then some relevant terminologies are also again discussed. And then the geoinformatics products and the open source geospatial consortium and the scope and applications of this technology is given. And at the end, towards the end, there is a activity, summary, terminal questions, references, and further suggested reading, and the answers to the question that are there as you check your progress, continuous assessment, and also about the terminal questions that are given. So either the answer is given or a pointer where you can find the answers to those questions are given. So you see, this is how all the units you say a chapter in the books, but in the case of our parlance, open distance learning parlance, we use the term unit. You see, in the conventional system, you take admission into some courses, but here uh, it is the program that we call it. So MSc is a program, PG diploma is a program, and this PG certificate is a program. In this program, you have different courses. The courses is what you call as paper in the conventional system. So, but here in case we call it as courses. So, and you need to be you need to be familiar with this terminologies: program, then courses, and then instead of chapter we call it units, and for practical we call it exercises. So anyway, I think you will be familiar afterwards as you uh, uh, study the materials. So now, just a minute. Okay, so now this is introduction. So that gives you a brief background about the relevance of that particular unit and the important concepts. So I am not going to read everything, but I'll just pick up some words and then I'll discuss those words here. So you see, there have been some messages about the scope and application of geoinformatics or the geospatial technology in the different domains. Now you see, we have not taken the introduction of yours, but if we start, maybe if we get the time, we will do that in the second half of this today's sessions. So you'll find that there are people from various academic backgrounds, from science to arts to language, so engineering, so management, or even from medical field. So there are people who are from various academic backgrounds and various academic qualifications, but many of them are interested to learn this geoinformatics or the geospatial technology. So this is primarily, when it started, it was basically a tool. So people from various backgrounds, wherever there was data which concern to some particular location or an area, they are able to use this geoinformatics uh, tools, geospatial tools for their purpose. So the application uh, domain may be different, but wherever there is a data, the special data, meaning that the data which pertains to a particular space and the data that can be identified by their location, those data are available. So those one can find the relevance of geoinformatics in that. Okay, so here a brief definition is given. We can define geoinformatics as the science and technology that deals with the geo information, its acquisition, creation, storage, processing, presentation, and dissemination. And what do we mean by geoinformation or the geospatial information? We mean by that any information or any data that can be linked to a location on the earth. So see here, the word geo refers to the earth, and but not necessary. Now, since this technology is available, and as you know, now the Chandrayaan, recently India had a success in sending a lander and rover in the south pole of moon, and so we are getting lots of remote sensing data for the planetary bodies beyond the Earth, also for moon, for Mars, and many other planets. So those data are available on different platforms. Those of you who just are not familiar, they just want to visualize those data, you can go to the Google Earth. You have to go, and then you can see from there planetary bodies. You can see the images of Mars. You can see the images of Moon taken from. So anyway, I think somewhere we have given a photograph figure wherein we have given those figures. So you can see that later on. But here, let us now come to this concept. See, this is the objective of this particular unit. Once you study properly this particular unit, you should be able to define what is the geoinformatics. You should be able to explain various components of geoinformatics. You should be able to discuss the relevant basic terminologies and the types of various geoinformatics products, and also be able to write about the open source geospatial consortium and the broad scope and applications of geoinformatics. So I suggest you all, you please go through this unit carefully, and then if you still have any question, that we can discuss later on. So it starts with the second, this section is 1.2. It is what is geoinformatics. So it said that geoinformatics has become an important technology to decision makers across a wide range of disciplines, industries, and organizations, as it enables them to acquire, process, analyze, visualize special information, and produce outputs. So now we are going to define what is geoinformatics. So this is a subsection under that. It deals with the definition part. So geoinformatics, as it says, there are two words that it comprises. One is the geo, that refers to the earth, and informatics, which is a broad field that is relevant to the computers and information science. So geoinformatics can be understood as the union of earth science and informatics, and it deals with the use of computers and information technology for the collection, analysis, storage, retrieval, representation, and dissemination of information about the earth. So now there's a brief history about this, how these terms have come into use. So it says that the geoinformatics term has come into existence just a few decades back because of the integration of three disciplines, namely photogrammetry, remote sensing, and geographic information system. As per the Wikipedia, it says that it is a science and technology which develops and uses information science technology to address the problems of geography, geoscience, and relevant branches of science and engineering. So there is a formal definition by Jakimsky. It says that the science of the gathering, processing, and dissemination of information, which is specially defined within the Earth system. But I just mentioned that when we say geo informatics, it is not necessarily that it is referred to the data about the Earth, but now it is also data is available for planetary bodies. So the definition has to be now expanded. So see, there is another definition by Oletsky. It said that it is more easily understood and much more better at conveying the essence of spatial research, focusing on the informatics. And according to him, the definition of geoinformatics is that it is the science and technology dealing with the structure and character of the spatial information, its capture, classification, storage, processing, portrayal, and dissemination, including the infrastructure that is necessary to secure optimal use of this information. Another definition is that it is the art, science, and technology that deals with the acquisition, storage, processing, production, presentation, dissemination of geoinformation. And we have seen what is geoinformation. So this is a very simplified version of the definition or the concept of geoinformatics that has been given by Oletsky. So this is it just says that there are various disciplines that are involved in this, and it derives from the concepts from various different fields. So there are some different terms like geomatics, geospatial technology. So those things are also given. Just a minute. Okay, so there are again different definitions are given. You see, there are still researches going on that tries to uh, capture the essence of this technology and define in a way that is relevant as on date. So you see this paper by Avanje and Kiyama, they have argued that there is no globally accepted definition of geoinformatics, but there are some definitions that we are discuss about it. So if you want to learn more about these terms, how their concept, their historical background, you can refer to this particular paper. The link to that is given in the end of this particular unit. But just to tell you, from the exam point of view, the material that is given in this self-learning material is enough. We don't need to refer any other books or material. But in case if you want to learn little more about the concept that is given, some advanced version of that, then you can refer to the references that we have given, or the links or the papers or the books that we have mentioned as a part of further suggested reading at the end of each of those units. So now let us come to the another word, that is geospatial technology. So it is relatively a newer term which refers to geospatial, which emphasizes on the use of technology and computer-based techniques. Then there is another word called spatial science. It is a field that deals with the identifying features and understanding and analyzing the patterns and trends in numerical spatial data. So depending upon the focus of the user, the definition of different these terms have come into existence. So those from different backgrounds, they try to define this from and use different words to define those as per their academic backgrounds and their interests. There is another word, spatial information science, or geospatial information science, or it is also known as GI science. So there are different words which are into use, but here we have gone ahead with the term geoinformatics. There is another word called spatial informatics, which is considered to be a field of study integrating the knowledge drawn from GI science, information science, cognitive science, computer science, and engineering. So this definition has been given by this Institute of Maine. So that is taken from that website. So this is given here. Now coming to the geoinformatics components of this. There are various components of the informatics. Mostly we see here it is the computer science, geodesy, cartography, photogrammetry, remote sensing, GNSS, and the geographic information system. So I suggest you, I will not read each and every paragraph of this, but in short, I will tell you here that this remote sensing deals with sensing remotely, meaning that, see, this term says remote sensing. There are two words: sensing remotely, meaning that acquiring information from a distance. So acquiring information about phenomena, about an object from a distance. So now, how to acquire information from distance? It is acquired through means of some devices. Those are the sensors. And the sensors, how do they capture images? Uh, there is a electromagnetic uh, say radiation, and those radiations are captured by those sensors. Those sensors are designed in such a way that they are sensitive to a particular wavelength of the electromagnetic spectrum, and then they can capture images only from that particular small wavelength regions from the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So that is how those sensors are designed. It is again a different field. So not getting that right now. We have another block that deals specifically with the sensors and the platforms. So therein those concepts will be discussed later on. So this is about remote sensing. And then comes the GNSS, this is Global Navigation Satellite System. You are more familiar with the word GPS, Global Positioning System. So GPS, and then there are different others examples of that. GPS is by USA, then Russia, Europe, China, and many other countries have their own navigation satellite system. India also has its own regional navigation system, Navik. But these all are example of global navigation satellite system. But we are more familiar with the word GPS because it was the one which was more popular and initially came into the existence. So you see, all our mobiles have this option of location. It has a software to read the location, to get the coordinates, and that is how we make use of this whenever we order food, or say something else, of even taxi that we order from apps. They use the location of the mobile, that is basically location of the user, and depending upon that they calculate the distance, the shortest route, etc. Now you see, we many of us use all these things, but this is basically a GIS and the GNSS combined. So this is the technology that is driving the next wave of say economic activities. And you see, in the time of say COVID time, when most of the activity was closed. So that time, for all the home delivery and etc. and many other options, this location specific information was used, and this all were possible only using this location based apps that they use location of our users and the means maybe buyer and sellers. So like that, it has been quite useful. Third is the GIS, that is Geographic Information System. So you see, this first course, MGY 001 or 101, it is devoted to introducing you to the basic concepts of data, maps, and giving you an overview of what geoinformatics is and what are the scope and application areas of geoinformatics. So as mentioned, the first block refers to the basics of or overview of the geoinformatics. The fourth block refers to the applications of the geoinformatics. You can read them, you can study them. You will be, I think, you will be enjoying reading them because everybody is from different academic backgrounds, and maybe once through the group or through other means, you can once you can interact with each other, it will be a good sharing of information or knowledge, because one person may be good in one background, and how it can be used in their application domain, that would be really good to know for others from others different background. So it will be good interaction, I hope, through the you can make good use of this WhatsApp group, or even through email that we can do. Of course, this face-to-face counseling has different advantages, but online counseling sessions has their own different advantages. Same. So each of these two has different merits and sets of demerits. But let us focus on the merits part. So in the case of face-to-face counseling, we get to meet people from different backgrounds physically, and get to interact with them and learn from their knowledge. And in the case of online, the advantage is that you can still be at home, and from different places. You don't need to travel to the study center to attend those sessions, and you can still interact with the counselors and other fellow members, fellow participants, or fellow learners. So it is a good. So whichever way it is conducted, it is we should focus on the merits of this media. So now cartography is there, and these are some examples of how the maps look like. So this is a land use land cover map. So what is land use land cover? Again, this has been discussed in detail. How what are the basic concepts used, how to decide upon the number of classes and the names of the classes that you want to map it is all discussed at different places, particularly in the example where this particular urban and rural planning and e-governance unit is there in this first course in the application block, and also as a part of the image interpretation, wherein you will again learn the different kinds of classification system that is used for mapping land use land cover. It started with America. Anderson gave the first classification in 1981, and then it was modified and adopted for Indian regions by ISRO, and again, depending upon the developments in the kinds of data that is now available with the resolution, the information is more now. So depending upon that, this classification system, new levels are being added continuously on that. So earlier it started with 2 levels, and now there are 4 different levels are there. You see them once you come to those particular chapter. So these are again some other example. It shows population density in different region. This unit is written by Dr. O.M. Murli, who is an independent GIS consultant, and he has a very long experience of working in different company, and also he was a part of ISRO earlier, and so he is really very good in the GIS domain. So this is about the photogrammetry, and I will come to that little later. I mentioned about the remote sensing. This is how the basic concept of remote sensing is. Basically, it is the media, that is the electromagnetic radiation. Through that, the sun is the source of energy, and the energy from that falls on the ground, on the Earth's surface, and from there, the energy that is reflected from the different objects from the Earth, that is captured by the sensors. Of course, I mentioned that those sensors are sensitive to some specific wavelength regions. So depending upon what is the sensor characteristics, they will capture the radiation from a specific wavelength, and they will produce the image. Now, not all the sensors will produce image. There are sensors which are called as non-imaging sensors. Again, those will be discussed later on in the respective unit when we come to the sensors and platforms. So this is just to give you an overview. This is a lotus temple in New Delhi. This is how it looks like from the above. Now you are very familiar with a mobile camera. Now when we take images or the photograph from camera, it is basically the front view. Now in the case of remote sensing, it is the top view. So that is the difference in the remote sensing images and the photographs. So one gives you the side view, lateral view, and the remote sensing image gives you the top view. Okay, just a minute. So now coming to the GNSS that we discussed, it is a constellation of satellites, and that is useful for getting the location, navigation, tracking, mapping, and timing. And that is how the location-based services, those app-based services for food delivery or vehicle tracking, even all the taxis, they have now this GPS devices on them, so the they can be managed where they are. And the GIS is a software system that we can consider as so it has different components like data, hardware, software, methods, people, and so these are the 5 basic components of GIS. Now, can somebody tell me here what is the difference between remote sensing, GIS, and the GNSS? Any basic difference depending on what I told here just a few minutes back? Then we can come to the Geoinformatics products. Anybody would like to mention here? No. Okay, so let me just come in. Here I will like to mention here that remote sensing and GNSS, because they from them we can get some data. So they are the data acquisition technology, whereas GIS is a platform or in an environment where the data acquired through different ways are analyzed. So this is how we can understand the basic difference between the remote sensing, GNSS, and GIS. In some other time, we will discuss further about different things, but this is in short. So there are different kinds of output that we saw. We saw the initial output as form of map. So those maps are called as cartographic outputs, but there are other non-cartographic outputs also, like map models, some tabular data, or those kinds of information or products are known as non-cartographic outputs. So these are some examples of that cartographic outputs. And this is again a DEM of a part of Karnataka, Sendur Cyst Belt in Hospet. And this is again from the Tamil Nadu Forest Department. They have a software system that has been built. So basically, this is a kind of decision support system for different aspects, like say administration and many other kinds of support. So the information system is also one kind of product, but it is not necessarily a cartographic product. Then open source geospatial consortium. So this is a strong community now, wherein you see we in IGNOU for this program, PGCGI, PGDGI, and MSCGI, we encourage use of open source data and the open source freely available software. Because why you might like to differ with me, but see, if we choose a commercial software, so first thing is that it is going to be very costly, first thing for IGNOU also. But since our scale of operation is quite larger, it might not be that much costly. But still, the important thing here is that it is availability of to you. Since the time which is given for the counseling is not that much, it is limited. It has certain limitations. So you will not be able to practice with those commercial software. So we want you to practice more as much as possible with those software, so that you can really learn how to use the data and how to apply them in your own work. So for that, you should have a software system, access to software that is accessible to you throughout whenever you want to work on that. And that is why we have chosen to work with the open source data and software. Otherwise, this commercial softwares are also there, but it will be very costly for the individual participants to purchase them and work on them. So that is why, and now the world is moving towards open source software. You see, there are various examples even for office applications. There are different software which are full-fledged, and they are as good as any other commercial software. Similarly, in the field of GIS, it is there. And when we come to that in the second block of this, when we talk about, when Minimum will be taking about that session, she'll be mentioning about the sources of data and also about the software. So therein you can find what are the advantages and limitations of the free and open source software and also of the commercial software. So you can really look into it and understand why it is useful for you to learn the open source software to work on that. And this is in short about various scope and applications of this. As I mentioned, wherever there is a spatial data, meaning that where there is a data with location, or you can identify them with their location, this technology can be useful. And somebody has said that uh, it is actually our limitation is with the imagination. So where whatever we can imagine, uh, or the fields that can make use of, it is really very broad. When this thing came into existence initially, it was not thought that it will be this much useful for different fields. So but now it has been quite useful in different fields. Now there are many projects wherein this technology and data are continuously being used for decision making particularly. So these are some of the this thing, like utility companies, they use this thing for laying the pipeline, for electricity network, and identifying corridors, shortest routes, etc. Then for natural resource management, disaster management, and many other things that you'll come into that once you read the application wala block, जो fourth block है हमारा, उसको जब पढ़ेंगे तो then you will come to that, know all those things. Then in the field of defense, wildlife protection, tracking, you will learn about those things. So this is in short about the first unit, the concept which has been covered in this first unit. And there is activity. So activity you can figure out if you want to learn more about this. Then this is a section that shows the summary of whatever has been covered in this particular unit. Then there are some questions that talks about, that gives you some questions that will be basically for you to, if you are able to answer them properly, then you can guess how best you have studied those materials. Then those references are given, but whatever references has been mentioned in that used in the unit is given that. So this is see geodata and geoinformatics. I was asking about this, that it talks about the big data, etc., etc. Then this definition of geoinformatics was covered in the Jakinski, and this is the recent paper just came last year by Krasik. It says it is about the definition or the redefinition of the terms geometrics and geoinformatics. So this is a good paper. You can all see how people look from different backgrounds and how they pursue geoinformatics from their own background. So this is in short about it, and then there is further engineering. If you want to know more about some more concepts about this, you can go through these study materials, papers, books, or some websites. As the answers to your self-assessment questions, those are the continuous questions that are given in that. You can find maybe 1 or 2 or 3 questions you can find in throughout your units. So you can read them and see how you have, you can evaluate yourself how you have found them. Okay. So now coming to the second unit, this is multidisciplinary nature of geoinformatics. So herein, as again you have seen that it is the structure of the unit, and it start with introduction, learning outcomes, how the geoinformatics has evolved as a discipline, and to be called it as a discipline, what are the characteristics, and how we can say that this has become a discipline, and how it has evolved with time. So this is how those things have been covered in this particular section. The next section, it talks about the multidisciplinary nature of this geoinformatics, and then again comes the application. So in the first unit, it was a very brief overview of the application and scope, and herein we have covered a little more application potential of geoinformatics with some case studies. So this case study are covered. You can find them useful. And then, as mentioned repeatedly, the fourth block of this course is particularly devoted to the applications of geoinformatics. So whatever application domain that we could find out or we could imagine, those are covered in those number of units. 5, 6 units. It may become, it has become little bulkier, but because there are a number of figures and then number of application domains have been covered, that is why it has become little bulkier. Otherwise, you will find them interesting. Then comes the next section, that is about the employment prospects. So whatever the employment prospects are there in this particular field, those have been discussed. So career options and the employment prospects, and there are educational programs, various programs in this field. Those overview of that has been given in that. Again, there are activity, summary, and this. So let me just come to that some of the tables here. This is how these are the characteristics of a discipline. To call a subject as a discipline or the content to be a discipline, it has to have certain characteristics, like it should have its own developed or evolved subject matter and theoretical framework. It should have a recognized body of knowledge and contribution to knowledge. There should have different sets of terminologies. It should have standards of inquiry and distinct set of methods and techniques. And then there should be a community of people, practitioners and scholars in that field, and also the institutional recognition. So these are the basic characteristics of something to be called a discipline. So now geoinformatics is called a discipline because it has certain characteristics, whichever is it fits into. It is all given in here. So I would like you all to go through this carefully and understand this. Now there is a basic difference here. While the geoinformatics is considered as a discipline, but geospatial technology is not considered as a discipline in itself, but it is considered as a set of technologies and tools used across a range of disciplines. So this is a small difference between the geoinformatics and geospatial technology. Then this is about the history of evolution of geometrics. So how it started? It started particularly with the GIS, and then which this is the Canada GIS was the initial one, and then how it came into existence as a part of different academic programs, and how the standards in the practices were evolved, and what are how the advancement has taken place in last around 2-3 decades. So this it lists out those things. Then next section is about the multidisciplinary nature. So how we can call this as a multidisciplinary subject? Why? So uh, is mentioned here. The multidisciplinary nature of the geometrics is reflected in the diverse range of application that it has in various fields like environmental science, agriculture, forestry, urban planning, disaster management, national security, etc. In addition, it also draws on other disciplines like geography, geology, physics, mathematics, statistics to develop new methods and tools for data acquisition, analysis, and visualization. So this is how it is now. It has a multidisciplinary nature. So then again, some things how different disciplines are contributing to this are mentioned here. It's a graph shows that. Then how that earlier was well, how it has evolved as a discipline. Now how it has evolved as a multidisciplinary subject is mentioned here. So what are the technological advancement? What are the how the application has expanded to different fields? How there are interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary collaborations in different fields, and standardizations, big data, cloud and cloud processing. All things are mentioned here. So it will be good if you can read those things carefully and understand the basic concepts here. Now coming to the application part. So I mentioned here in the earlier we just briefly gave an overview of the application potential. Herein it is covered little more in some detail. So now the broad fields of that is mentioned here. Environmental monitoring and management, how it is useful there, in the natural resource management, in the urban planning, in the public health, agriculture, transportation, emergency management, defense and security, in health, epidemiology, business and marketing, insurance sector. It is another sector that is coming up in big way, wherein the use of geospatial data and sorry is being used extensively. We had in earlier batch we had three or four students who were working in the insurance sector. So they when we asked them how they got interested in this, they said that they're already working as a data creators for insurance sectors, and then they wanted to learn. They were not from this background, so they wanted to learn how what is the basic concepts of this technology and this technique. So they came to join this program to learn them. So this is one example. So this is one example. So there are again different in the crime analysis also it is useful, and for red road networks identifying the accident prone areas. This is wherein all it is useful. And for disasters, for in the case of oil spill, water contamination, etc., etc., for all every many fields it is used. And then there are some case studies given. So this is particularly about this. I'll show you here. This is about the avenue tree inventory in the T Nagar in Chennai. So this is the map. It's prepared And then these are the results as been briefly discussed. This is the second case study that talks about the change detection in the lake, how the dimension of the lake has changed in time with time. And then the third case study that deals with some other applications, wherein particularly it uses the GIS technology, and it shows which are the hotspots where the accident prone areas are there. So this is some examples to make you aware and also to make you prompt to explore further how you can utilize this technology or this into your own fields of interest. Then coming to the employment prospects, there are career options from various what is actually required and what kind of jobs are available, and which kind of background is particularly useful, and in India what kind of opportunities may be available in broad. In generic information is given here, and then the different kinds of educational programs which are available in India. It is also an overview of that. A list of the institutions are given in this. So this is again, there are different organizations which offer programs in different of different durations. So again, this summary, activity, questions, references, and the suggested reading, and the answers to that is given. Now coming to the recent trends, I will break here after 5 minutes. Then we'll take a break of maybe around some time, 10-15 minutes, and then we can come back for the practical session. So, and then if you, I understand you may have some queries, just those queries we will take up in the practical session. So third unit is about the recent trends. So the recent trends in the field of remote sensing, in the field of photogrammetry, in the field of GIS, in the field in the market scenario, policy initiatives. So all these are covered in brief here. So you see, just a minute, some more people have joined here. Okay, just a minute, please give me a minute. Okay, so trends in remote sensing, how the optical remote sensing has evolved, what are the recent trends in the case of multi-thread remote sensing, hyperspectral remote sensing, in the case of microwave remote sensing, and also in thermal remote sensing, and LIDAR and unmanned aerial vehicles, how these are being utilized for remote sensing purpose. So that is mentioned here. Then the photogrammetry, then GIS, particularly the 3D GIS, web GIS, LBS, mobile GIS, enterprise GIS, GIS customization, then also the citizen science. Those things are covered in here. So this is trends in remote sensing. So these are some examples of how these are being utilized. This is a panchromatic image, again from ISRO, and this is a multispectral image by Worldview. You can see here the white spot. You can see here. Those are basically some animal, and those are being monitored through the remote sensing data. This is about how the weather forecasting is done. So how we know in advance where the cyclone is going to hit on the land, so we can prepare ourselves for any emergencies. And this is how the satellite technologies are useful to safeguard people and our assets. This is about the hyperspectral. So these are again different there. And then microwave remote sensing. There are basically two types, like passive and active microscopes, microwave sensings. And these are some images. In the left, it is from the Canada. The right one, it is one of the metro station in Bangalore, how it is visualized. These are the basic concepts about the SAR imaging. And then comes the thermal remote sensing. Then comes the LIDAR. So we have practical session in the second semester for LIDAR, and then the unmanned aerial vehicles also, how it is coming in a big way for acquiring remote sensing images. So there are different categories of drones or unmanned aerial vehicles. So depending upon the weight that can carry, or the altitude, and the duration that can be flown for. So this is how it is useful. Now coming to the trends in photogrammetry. So again, it started from analog photogrammetry, then it came to digital photogrammetry. So this is how it has evolved with time. So now mostly the digital photogrammetry technique is used for any kind of alignment, road, electrical lines, power lines, all for that. The photogrammetry is used in big way. And then coming to the GIS, then as mentioned, 3D GIS, 3D GIS, web GIS, then comes the mobile GIS, location-based services, and then enterprise GIS. You can just go through these concepts. Then customization also is coming in a big way. Many people from computer science background are coming into this. They are developing different softwares for and customizing different kinds of software, GIS packages. Then the citizen science, how the local community people are involved in creating database in case of any disaster. That example is given as a part of the flood disasters in Chennai, that image that you have seen. So this example is shown here. And then what is the current market scenario? What is the projected scenario in this field, global and Indian geospatial industry? So this is an overview of that is given, and you can read the detailed reports from the links that is given in there in case you are interested. And recently there have been various different changes in terms of policies by the government of India. So those have been mentioned here, and those have been relevant or maybe driving the next wave of economic activities in India. So this is how these 3 units are covered. So let us take a break for some time, and whatever question that you may have about this theory courses, we will take up during the practical concentration. So this is now 1:17. So let us meet at around 1:30. Okay. So I am just holding it here. Whatever you want to discuss with each other, you can discuss. Otherwise, you can just take a break and then you can come back after some time. But don't log out. You remain in this meeting. So I'm stopping my sharing, and